오늘의 마지막 경기이자 16강전의 마지막 경기 시작해 보려고 합니다. 자, 앞서 말씀드렸다시피요. 오늘의 경기는요. 이번 경기는 아주 재미있는 경기입니다. 역시나 두 선수 소리가 있는 두 선수인 만큼 더욱더 이슈가 되고 있는데요. 삼성전자 칸의 송병구 선수와 CJ엔투스의 변형태 선수의 경기가 우리를 기다리고 있습니다. 자, 그리고 앞서 말씀드렸다시피 이 경기는 송병구 선수가 WWI에 출전하는 관계로 사전에 비공개로 녹화가 되었다는 점을 말씀을 드립니다. 하지만 경기 결과는 아무도 모르죠.
그렇습니다. 저희가 사전에 녹화를 하고 있습니다만 이 경기 결과를 여러분들이 알 수 없게 철저히 비밀을 붙인 상태에서 1, 2, 3경기 본 상태에서 여러분들이 4경기 녹화 딱 보시면은 정말 기대되는 경기고 스토리가 있는 두 선수의 대결이기 때문에 많은 분들이 아마 이번 경기 4경기 중에서 가장 기대하는 경기 중에 하나가 되지 않을까 싶습니다.
그렇습니다. 상대 전적 8대7 그리고 이 두 선수 간의 만남에서 3대0이 두 번이 나왔어요. 서로 주고받았죠.
그렇죠. 보통 라이벌 관계 어떤 비슷한 스코어를 가지고 있는 선수들이라고 하면은 그렇게 다전제에서 만나도 3대1, 3대2 이런 식으로 주고받는 경우가 많은데 유독 이 선수들은 만나면 셧아웃 이런 식으로 이렇게 주고받아온 역사가 있기 때문에 더욱더 오늘 기대가 기대되는 게 아닌가 싶습니다.
그렇습니다. 3대0 끝장을 보는 그들이 오늘도 역시 다전제 승부에서 그리고 8강에 올라서는 티켓 한 장을 두고 경기를 펼치게 되겠습니다. 결승에 가도 전혀 손색이 없는 두 선수가 너무 일찍 만난 감이 없지 않아 있다 하시는 분들도 많은데요. 자, 두 선수를 먼저 만나보시죠. 네, 송병구 선수입니다.
그렇습니다. 송병구 선수 최근에 이제 개인전 같은 경우는 지난 MSL 온게임 스타리그에서 그때 이제 이용호 선수에게 3대0으로 패배를 한 이후에 그때부터 약간 주춤한 모습을 보여주고 있습니다. 하지만 그 프로리그에서 개인전 좋은 성적 보여줬다가 또 최근에 안타깝게 2경기 진 경기가 있었고요. 그러면서 현재 다시 한번 개인전 기성을 꿈꾸고 있습니다. 그렇죠. 칸의 명실상부한 최고의 에이스 총사령관 송병구 선수입니다.
그렇죠. 왠지 최근에 분위기가 안 좋다가도 이 선수만 만나면 다시 타오를 수 있다라고 말할 수 있다면 바로 이 두 선수거든요. 그렇기 때문에 송병구 선수는 변형태 선수를 만났을 때 이때가 바로 내 기회다. 이때가 내 페이스를 끌어올릴 절호의 찬스다라고 생각하고 있을 것 같습니다.
폭제가 되어줘야 되겠네요. 그렇죠. 자, 변형태 선수, 자, 송병구 선수와 만나는 변형태 선수를 만나보시죠.
네, 반면 변형태 선수는 최근 분위기 좋죠. 어떤 자신의 특유의 공격성을 살린 플레이 이외에 업그레이드하면서 후반가는 수비적이고 운영적 이런 플레이까지도 장착하고 있거든요. 그렇기 때문에 최근에 보여주는 모습은 변형태 선수의 변형된 형태예요. 아주 멋진 형태를 보여주고 있습니다.
변형된 형태도 발전된 형태.
그렇죠.
보여주고 있습니다.
대단한 센스인데요. 서로 말을 미루고 있네요. 자, 변형태 선수와 역시 마찬가지입니다. 변형태 선수도 최근에 개인이가 그렇다고 성적이 그렇게 썩 좋은 편까지는 아니거든요. 그런 상태에서 이 선수를 송병구 선수를 만나서 다시 한번 부활을 하겠다는 생각을 하고 있고 이 선수 양 선수가 모두 특이한 점은 초반 전략이라든지 그런 공격적인 형태보다는 중반 이후에 운영을 가져가서 이제 경기를 펼쳐간다는 점이 두 선수가 장기전으로 게임이 시달릴 수가 있고 그렇다면은 맵이 이제 1, 2, 3경기 맵이 아주 또 기대가 된다는 측면이 있습니다. 여러분들이 맵을 좀 잘 보셔야 될 것 같아요.
그렇죠. 맵에 대해서도 전체적인 구도를 좀 잡아주시기 바라겠고요. 자, 이 두 선수가 작년까지만 해도 정말 두려울 정도의 포스를 가지고 있었습니다. 그런데 최정원 해설과 안준영 해설께서 짚어주신 대로 최근의 분위기는 상승세를 타고 있는 것 같지는 않다라고 볼 수 있는데 자, 그 중에서도 아무래도 이제 그 송병구 선수의 지난 화요일 날 있었던 경기 2패, 연달아 2패라는 것은 물론 하루의 경기였습니다만 그것은 어느 정도 좀 충격으로 다가오지 않을까 하는 생각도 들어요.
내용적으로 역시 그랬죠.
Financially speaking, going to be great, and either of these guys, because they are such big names in their own right. If you are able to win this match, hey, just the fact that you're able to defeat Stork, or just the fact that you're able to defeat Berserker, that's an accomplishment of satisfaction in its own right. Maps that we're going to be using for this match: Andromeda, Othello, and then, if needed, Blue Storm for the third and deciding round. Of course, this is a best 2 out of 3. And every round is going to matter with these guys because that is the level that they're at. You just can't give away a round and expect to win a match like this. So, we have Stork and Berserker. They're both standing by. And let's find out what happens in round 1.
지난 2월 랭킹 1위의 자격으로 곰TV 스타 인비테이셔널의 1순위로 초청됐던 송병구. 잠시 겨울잠을 잤던 거대 공룡이 2008년 6월 다시 깨어난다. 멈추지 않는 공격 본능, 상대방을 공포로 몰아넣는 불멸의 광전사. 우리는 홈TV 클래식에서 변 형태식 공격 본능을 다시 볼 수 있다.
요즘에는 전혀 공격적이지 않던데요.
2007년 7월 스타리그 4강전 3대0 변형태 승리. 2008년 2월 홈TV 스타 인비테이셔널 4강전 3대0 송병구 승리. 상대 전적 8대7. 이보다 기막힌 스토리는 없다. 그리고 오늘 그들이 제외한다.
3대2 선승제 맞죠? 오전에서는 3대0 한 번씩 주고받았는데 작은 거에는 또 제가 다 이겼거든요, 거의. 만나면 별로 기분 좋진 않고요.
저도 마찬가지로 반갑지는 않아요.
어쨌든 그간의 스토리대로라면 이번엔 변형태가 이길 차례인데
당연히 제가 이기죠.
다음 시즌에 어떻게 한번 해보세요.
하지만 변형태는 포머스 인터뷰를 통해 잠자는 공룡의 코트를 건드리고 만다. 이재동이나 이영호를 만나는 것보다는 송병구가 수월하죠. 믿지 못하는 사람들을 위해 다시 한번 묻겠다. One more time.
이재동 선수나 이영호 선수보다는 쉽죠.
송병구의 가슴에 불을 당기는 변형태. 듣는 사람은 기분이 좋을 리 없을 텐데요.
거의 없죠. 형평은 그 중에 한 장애물에 밖에 안 되고 이번 시즌에서 이영호, 이재동은 만날 일이 없을 거예요.
이번 승부의 결과는 과연 누구에게 돌아갈까? 자, 이제 시원하게 한판 붙어보자. 시대의 라이벌 삼성탄 송병구 대 CJFS 변형태.
서로 반갑지는 않다라고 이야기를 했던 두 선수의 1세트전장 시작됐습니다. 안드로메다의 한시에 위치해 있는 프로토스, 송병구 선수의 신형입니다.
Andromeda.
아, 예, 5시.
예, 5시였고요. 예, 그리고 한시 쪽에 위치한 테란, 노란색 테란입니다. CJ 엔터스의 변형태 선수입니다.
예, 뭐 송병구 선수의 그런 테란전에서의 강력한 위력이라고 한다면 이제 지난 시즌 혹은 작년에서 올해로 이어지는 시즌까지는 분명히 송병구 선수의 그런 캐리어였습니다. 중반 중반에 초반 중반에 어느 정도 견제를 슬쩍슬쩍 해주면서 갑자기 캐리어로 넘어가서 테란들이 어떻게 하지 못하고 당하는 모습을 정말 많이 보여줬었는데 맵에 따른 탓도 많이 있었고 그때까지는 맵이 도와줬던 것도 많이 있었습니다만 송병구 선수는 유독 다른 맵에서 뭐 카트리나가 워낙 캐리어가 좋은 맵이기도
and a lot of Goliaths, and we actually haven't had that just yet today. Kind of interesting. See if maybe that comes out or not at some point, but we'll see. Calling this a rival match, actually, because Berserker and Stork, their head-to-head record is 8-7 in favor of Berserker. So that's kind of a interesting thought that they are so close, and I think we can definitely expect this match to be a close matchup as well. And once again, it is our Terran player, Berserker, blocking off his entrance. You know, once again, out of these matchups that we've seen today, the only one that didn't block off his entrance was actually Flash. He didn't seem to need to, and went on to win back-to-back rounds. Stork is going to go with the Fast Nexus, quickly expanding first, while Berserker is blocking off for defense. And now starting off the simulator is Stork. Berserker with 3 SCVs working the Vespian gas. Already starting the factory. And as usual, now those 3 SCVs on the Vespian gas have been dropped down to just 1. And unfortunately, we do have some technical difficulties. We don't have the game sound for this, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to give you the sound effects myself when they start off the pylons or something like that. But we do have the game. And, yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to give you the sound effects of the game characters or the units. You get to hear my dead voice in the cold. So we do apologize for the technical difficulties for that. But it's the game that's important, right? Oh, building just completed. So, taking a look, one Marine out, not necessarily needed just yet. Here comes the probe to check out the base. And it'll be repelled back, indeed, by the Marine. Stork with the Dragoon Zealot combo. And he's going to work up more Dragoons now. See if he picks off this SCV. And indeed, he will be able to. There you go. Marine for Berserker going out to scout a bit. And he's already got his second command center up, moving it over. Probe gets knocked out by the tank. And there's the command center down. 4 Dragoons out now. Third gateway being built by Stork. He's got a probe doing nothing there. Well, now he's got it built and moving on. And Berserker is going to use his barracks as a scouting tool as he flies it over to Stork's base. Stork going to a robotics facility. Okay, I just heard a tank go into siege mode. That's something that perhaps you didn't hear, but that was happening. Observatory. So there was the robotics facility, and now he has gone to the observatory. Of course, scouting, knowledge of what your opponent is doing, so important. That is why Berserker is sending that barrack down to Stork's base right now. 6 Dragoons and 1 Zealot moving up. Third Nexus being built. So Stork definitely trying to move up in the macro game. Second factory for Berserker. Missile turrets being built by Berserker. Trying to protect against the eventual Reaver drop, perhaps. And here comes the Observer now for Stork. Stork getting a nice look at Berserker's base. See if there's any holes that he'd like to be able to penetrate through. And Stork pushing up. He's got about 7 or 8 Dragoons with the 1 Zealot. Making a 3rd and 4th factory. Here's Berserker. 7 Dragoons. Nope, that was 8. 8 Dragoons and 1 Zealot. And the shuttle full of zealots. 4 zealots in the shuttle. Citadel being built. Give those zealots some upgraded speed. Stork's hidden expansion has been spotted. Is he going to cancel it, or is he going to go try to protect it? Could be a shuttle drop here. Zealots up on the tanks on the hill. The 4 tanks are not in siege mode, however. That's going to help a little bit, and then go into siege mode. Yeah. Going to have to back off now. He would have liked to have done a little more damage with the shuttle drop. But the smart play by Berserker, he actually had 4 tanks that were not in siege mode that were able to work on the zealots that were dropped there next to the tank. Adding another gateway. More Dragoons coming out. Haven't seen a robotic support bay yet. And the expansion at 7 o'clock was just left alone by the Vulture. I don't think Berserker's going to want to leave that unscathed. And indeed, he's heading south, planting a few mines along the way. Setting up a wall. Smart play. Making sure that those vultures cannot get up. Boxing in with the pylons. The vultures cannot get through. Doing a little bit of sweeping up, mine sweeping here. Is Stork. Oh, and Berserker's starting his push out. Here he comes. That's quite a force there from Stork, however. I don't know if this push is going to be wise just yet. I don't know that he's got enough. He's setting up some mines. Stork's got quite an army here. And here he comes. Stork pushing forward with the zealots. Dragoons supporting from behind. I think Berserker's going to lose an awful lot of units here. Although they did get rid of the zealots. Here comes the zealots now. And now Berserker could be in some trouble. He's losing a lot of units. Stork pushing up. Definitely an unwise decision by Berserker. Pushing out a little too early. He can't get into the expansion base because of those pylons. And right now, Stork definitely in command. More of a push. The zealots trying to get to the tanks. I don't think Stork can quite go that far. Not quite into the base of Berserker. He's going to have to wait a bit. Berserker's still looking confident. Didn't look the slightest bit worried there. A lot of games you watch these guys playing, and all of a sudden, when something happens, you see the facial expression on their face, like, who? And all of a sudden, everything you can tell has just gone wrong for them. Even though Berserker made that push, didn't seem like a wise decision, but he did seem unscathed by it. Unfazed. I mean, still looks confident. Looks like he hasn't lost anything just yet, so we'll see if he knows something that I don't. Stork trying to push forward with these Dragoons and a ton of mines being set up, and they're going to have to do some more mine sweeping again. Tons and tons of vultures to defend. That should be plenty to slow down these Dragoons a bit. And here comes some Zealot support as well now. Looks like he's probably going to have too many vultures to be able to break in. So Stork probably going to have to be the one to be a little more patient this time. Well, let's see. It looks like he's going to go in anyways. Stork trying to push in past these vultures. There's a ton of vultures there. Psionic Storm. He's got the High Templar from out of the shuttle. And now he might be able to push in. Oh, he's got down to about 6 Dragoons left. And once again, it looks like he's going to be stifled right at the doorstep. Almost getting in, but just not quite enough. Five vultures, going to be planting some more mines. Adding another gateway is Stork. 2 forges there to upgrade. Take a look if we can see exactly what the upgrade levels are of his units. Another expansion for Stork. He's going to start taking a lead in the macro game. Vulture's going to try to claim a little bit more of the map. The observer right there. Dragoons are upgraded 1 on the attack, 1 and 1 shield for the tanks. So the tanks have a double upgrade, while the Dragoons only have 1. Stork trying to get in again. Psionic Storm doing some good damage with that storm. And this time he might just break through. He's definitely got a lot more units this time. Stork's push looking effective. He'd probably like a few more zealots in there before he actually tries to go all the way. And he is indeed going to back off a bit. Meanwhile, Berserker continuing to use those vultures to plant mines. Just trying to slow down Stork. And now the attack has been upgraded to 2. Dragoon attack 2. Meanwhile, the siege tanks remain at 1 and 1. Berserker trying to move out. And he does have a dropship. He's going to have to expand somewhere. He's been somewhat boxed in. Stork trying to make sure that Berserker can't get out. And now he's sweeping up the mines as well. Vultures going down, realized the army was there, backed off it. That's a lot of Dragoons and Zealot combos. And a Stargate out. Are we going to see an Arbiter, or will he move on to carriers? We'll have to wait and see on that. Lots of mines again. Gonna have to sweep that up. Berserker just trying to slow down Stork as much as he can so he can have enough time to go and knock out some of these expansions. And meanwhile, here is Berserker trying to work on that 7 o'clock expansion. Vultures trying to hold off the fort at the front. Tanks from behind. Trying to hold off those zealots from getting to the tanks. Psionic Storm. Oh, this could be a big one. One more to perhaps finish off a couple more tanks. Stork is going to have to finish off these tanks. Indeed, he does, if he wants to save off that expansion at 7 o'clock, and he has protected it for the time being. Berserker again, trying to move down towards the main. He's given up the 7 o'clock, and now he's going for the main base. Pushing down with the tanks. Zealots getting to the tanks, however. And he's getting sandwiched in from both sides. Berserker's entire army getting sandwiched in. Psionic Storm finishing off the tanks. Actually did a decent job there despite being sandwiched. And here's some more Zealots, however. But also more tanks coming down from Berserker. More tanks, but he doesn't have any support other than the tanks. We'll see if he can bust in. Expansion for Berserker up at 11 o'clock. 3 tanks alone aren't going to do much, and there's an Arbiter now. So Stork has indeed gone to the Arbiter. And that means eventually Berserker's going to need some air units. And here they are, just as I speak. Goliath's on their way down. Berserker is going to need to eventually get another expansion. Goliath's being picked apart by the Zealots. And looking at the macro game here, Stork simply has too many expansions. And that's why Berserker is going to come to see if there's anything he can do about it. Planting those tanks on top of the hills over at the 7 o'clock expo. 2-2 on the upgrades, 1-2 for Stork. Tanks definitely going to do a lot of damage. Psionic Storm. And 2 storms quickly take care of those tanks. And Stork's going to continue to pull out the Arbiters. We'll see if he attempts a recall. Transfer of SCVs. He'd already mined out his main. Might need to give him a bit of cover, however, because they're going to be walking right into a trap. Or they could be baiting Stork into a trap, perhaps. And here comes Berserker now, coming up from behind. Stork's trying to take off that expansion up at 11 o'clock, but Berserker trying to come to defend from the backside. But the mine's in the way, slowing down Stork. Stork trying to hold off the vultures at 7 o'clock. Meanwhile, the tank's also there to try to take that out. If they can take out that pylon wall, that would give them free reign through. This is the first time, I think, that Berserker has been looking like he might have a little bit of control here. And no, not enough. The stasis field ends it. GG. Berserker, nothing that he could do. Finally looked like he might bust through, but just when the Arbiter comes, puts on the stasis field, and simply nothing that Berserker could do. GG, and Stork, your winner. So after the first round, Stork goes on to take a 1-0 lead. Then on Andromeda, of course, there is going to be a second round that is going to be played on Othello. This is for the right to advance to the quarterfinals, the Elite Eight. And right now it is Berserker that has to win the next two or he will face elimination. Jason Lee with you filling in for Nick Plott. Nick over at the WWI. This, meanwhile, here, of course, is the Averatec-Intel Classic 2008. We do have Game 2, Round 2, I should say, standing by. And Berserker and Stork. Stork, I think he just had a lot of map control. He was able to get those 3 pylons up for the wall. That led to him being able to get map control. But let's see what happens in round number 2.